playing this thing. And they said, you know, wow, that's amazing. You know, do you want to come be in our show? And the guy said, you know, yeah, but I'll only do it for 6 months. So he's one of those artistic types, didn't want to commit to anything, who knows what the future holds. And Chris, Matt, and Phil were like, we'll be lucky if we last 1 month. So, okay, come on in. So he brings out a Zither, and he introduced Zither into Ble Man. 6 months later, he showed up, put it under his arm, and said, okay, I'm going. They're like, well, you can't leave now, we're a big hit. It's like, well, I said I would only do it for 6 months. So Phil and somebody else built one in a day, just so that they could continue doing shows. And then gradually, bit by bit, the construction process evolved. This is the last of the wooden Zithers. They've now switched to a plexiglass frame. They had one in Amsterdam. I think they had one in London. The Stuttgart show has it. And basically, it just allows people in the audience to be able to see the player better. It's still not completely see-through, but you get a better idea. During meet and greet, a lot of times people are like, oh, were you the keyboard player? Or were you the DJ? Because nobody has any idea what the person is doing. They're just sitting there making music. So this is very similar to the design of the original inventor. There are traditional Zithers, which are maybe about this big, and it's a similar sort of concept where there's chords and there's melody. And so it allows you to do two things at once, essentially. The only difference with this is that it's so much bigger. There are 6 chords instead of usually only 2. And there's two and a half octaves of melody instead of usually 1. So it's just a really big electrified version of what a traditional Zither would be. And so you basically got 6 different chords. And with the slide, you can change the chord and literally get any chord or chord combination by playing it like a lap steel guitar. And then the top section we call the harp. And just like the inside of a piano, each note is 3 strings really close together. And so it gives a slightly richer sound because the notes will never be exactly in tune with each other. So they sort of rub against each other a little bit. And so the 2 sections can be combined together and play things like. And so essentially, if you can get guitar-like sounds from an instrument that you can play like a piano. Just the combination of things that you're able to do with it are so much greater. And then typical Ble Man, never doing anything just the normal way, not that this is normal to begin with. We use a lot of guitar effects to create really strange and unique sounds. And so the beginning of Utney is a great example where the Zither is almost used more like a sound effect than an actual instrument in the traditional sense. goes from being just these weird noises to sounding like a bluesy guitar, and then in other pieces like Paint and Cheese, you get a much more sort of harp-like quality from it. So it's a very versatile instrument that goes from being really pretty to really ugly pretty quickly.